How does SpaceX transport its Falcon 9 rocket to the launch site? When it comes to spaceflight, rocket companies usually invest a lot of money to document every aspect of their launches. Back in the Apollo days, TV stations covered the entire length of the Apollo 11 mission in great detail. The whole coverage garnered a viewership of 600 million people around the world when Neil Armstrong walked on the moon. The recent launch of SpaceX with NASA had over 10 million people watching it live from social media platforms. Thanks to the broadcast teams, we were able to watch these rockets go on their incredible journeys. In order to reach the launch site, Falcon 9 has to go through a long cross-country journey, which we will find about more in detail in this video. We are also going to talk about the transportation methods that are used and the alternative methods that were used in the past. To reach the launch pads that they have to go through a 2,500 mile journey from the manufacturing facility in California to Florida. In order to get to Cape Canaveral, Florida, the Falcon 9 travels in different paths on the back of a huge semi-truck. But even before that, every new Merlin engine is transported to their testing facility in McGregor, Texas, where it's put through a full static fire test. Each engine is then transported back to Hawthorne to be attached to the Falcon 9's first stage. Then the enormous first stage makes its long journey by road to Cape Canaveral, often stopping off in McGregor to perform more static fire tests as a whole unit. The second stage. Fairings and each of the 4 landing legs are all transported to the Cape separately by truck. SpaceX typically contracts private hauling companies like EZE Trucking and Bale Brothers to transport their Falcon 9 rockets using custom-built cradles fitted to a 44-wheeled trailer. The Falcon 9 parts are wrapped in a black fabric which protects them from any damage that could be sustained during the journey. Once they reach the Cape, the Falcon 9 is unwrapped and checked before being handed over to SpaceX. After that, they transport the rocket to the assembly building on a vehicle they recently bought from NASA. This transporter was used to haul the space shuttle to the assembly building where it was attached to its boosters. Once the Falcon 9 is assembled in its hangar, the transporter erector moves it out to the launch pad horizontally and then raises it into its final position, ready for launch. Unlike most rockets, the Falcon 9's journey isn't over after it places its load into orbit. Since SpaceX intend to reuse their rockets, more transportation is needed. When the Falcon 9 lands on the autonomous drone ship placed in the Atlantic Ocean, recover vessels GoQuest and GoSearcher will typically be on standby. This is done in contact with crew to secure the Falcon 9 to the drone ship and tow it back to the port at Cape Canaveral. So far, SpaceX has only been recovering the first stage of their rockets. Although this is the largest and the most expensive part of the Falcon 9, SpaceX's long-term aim is to make rockets fully reusable. When SpaceX was designing the Falcon 9, the diameter of the rocket was limited to 3.7 meters, so it could pass under the bridges during the journey. In the past, there have been many different methods for transporting large rocket parts. Back in the 60s and 70s, NASA used a sea transport system to transport the massive Saturn V first stage to Florida. This involved a 10-day, 2,000-mile journey from Huntsville, Alabama, finally to Cape Kennedy, Florida, where the Saturn V was assembled and launched. Since the second stage was manufactured in California, it had to be transported by a long boat called barge through the Panama Canal and back up to Florida. NASA used cargo planes to transport the third stage and the instrument unit to Cape Kennedy. Being only 5 meters in diameter, they were able to place it into the cargo aircraft named Guppy, specifically designed for loads like this. Although sea transport was the main method of transporting the Saturn V, there were times when road transport was needed. This proved to be very challenging for the first and second stages, since they were 10 meters in diameter, a whole 3 times wider than Falcon 9. Sea transport might have been the most practical transport method for the Saturn V, simply because it was so big. But for rockets like Falcon 9, shipping the parts this way is not very practical at all. Today, SpaceX keeps it simple by transporting nearly all of their rocket parts on land. Not only is this method the most practical for SpaceX, but it's also a lot cheaper than the alternative air and sea methods. There is a lot more that goes on behind the scenes in transporting these incredibly large rocket parts all across the country. If you would like to know more about the space travel, check out our video on recent SpaceX's launch with NASA. Did you know how SpaceX transported its rocket? Do let us know in the comments below.